and welcome to the SmackDown Preview. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture, joined by another one, Culture. Here to look ahead to tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. We do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review SmackDown, but also the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week complete with a very good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As said, though, joined by Michael Hamflett to look ahead to tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Happy Friday, Hamflett. How's your Friday treating you so far?
I have got such a Friday feeling. I've eaten 8 crunchies. I got crunchies coming out my ass.
Brian, you know what to do.
It's that kind of Friday. Do you remember the Friday feeling crunchy advert?
Hated crunchies.
I don't even like crunchies that much. They certainly wouldn't make my confectionery hand. Not even close. They wouldn't even make my confectionery ass.
No.
Let alone coming out my usual ass. My typical ass. We didn't get onto that, did we?
Confectionery ass.
So we did confectionery dick and balls because it was 2 cream eggs and a Mars bar.
Yeah.
Then we had confectionery hands, obviously.
Yeah.
Did we have confectionery face? Because I suppose like the mouth would be just like all the chocolate.
Yeah.
All the mouth, please.
I mean, confectionery ass, just if we're saving time, it is just an Easter egg cut in half, no?
Of course. Yeah. That's that taken care of. Thank you. As you were. What are we talking about? Fridays.
Yes.
Which is what this is.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. You hate to pick you up on your intros, which are always just tremendous.
Thank you.
But we're not going to be rounding out the week with a bloody good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture.
Oh, yeah.
Because tonight,
yep,
we're going to be kicking off our first ever WhatCulture World Tour in Manchester.
Yeah.
Which is...
We'd better get going.
We're under a lot of pressure because it's Friday and it's like midday or something.
Yeah.
And like the show, I think doors are at 5:30 and show starts at 6 because we've got our show and then you're double duty. You're doing Sweet Chin Disco as well.
Mm-hmm.
So like we have been a bit irresponsible doing this on Friday. Do you know what we should have done?
Go on.
We should have recorded this late on Wednesday afternoon after the NXT.
That's the way
review.
to do it. Yeah.
We'll have to remember this for next time.
I mean, we are so rushed today that if anything has been announced in between, let's say, Wednesday afternoon and right now, of course, Friday lunchtime.
Yep.
I made my notes on Wednesday afternoon, so I unfortunately haven't had time to check if anything new's been added in the interim. So, like, if The Rock... even as much as I probably would have seen, I have seen that if he's done it.
He's a big Thursday guy.
Announces he's going to be on SmackDown. Unfortunately, we won't talk about that here because I feel like, I made these notes on Wednesday and
You want to stick to him?
Yeah.
You're committing to that.
I'm loyal. You know me, I'm loyal, babe. I'm loyal to my Wednesday afternoon notes.
That's what we've always said on the SmackDown preview. Loyal, babe. I'm still a little bit giddy from... It's crazy. It's funny you mentioned that about your notes.
Yeah.
I'm still a bit giddy from the recordings.
Yeah. It stuck with me.
Me too.
For a day and a half.
Are you saying that, like, hang on, are you telling me, I don't know if I can frankly believe this, are you telling me that you watched, noted up, and reviewed an entire edition of AEW Dynamite and not a single bit of it stuck with you? Oh, actually, that completely checks out, yeah. So, here we are, it's Friday.
You know what I should have done?
Pay attention, please.
That's right. Rebecca Black once said, everybody's looking forward to the weekend. And we certainly are. because it's not just Manchester we've got to head to as soon as we finish recording this podcast here on Friday. But tomorrow, on Saturday, we're going to be in Belfast. And then on Monday, which I don't need to establish is the distance of days away from Friday because you already know that.
Yeah, like, 3, isn't it? Yeah.
The thing about Mondays, I've always said this, it always follows Sunday, which typically follows Saturday.
Yeah.
And like that is right after Friday, almost 100% of the time. So... Days of the week chat done. Tick. So
I like doing this so much. I think next week I should make my SmackDown notes on Wednesday, and we should aim to try and, be loyal to those, just in case, I'm away with the Sweet Tune Disco Tour on Friday. I obviously have to shoot off after we record the SmackDown on the Friday.
Your loyalty has never been under question, and it never will be, mate. Your loyalty to your Wednesday notes. People don't know this about him, but we'll often sit here on a Friday like we're doing today, and he's like, all right, mate, I know you've been looking at the SmackDown stuff ahead of doing this preview, but I made my notes on Wednesday, and I'm loyal to those notes. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to fight you on your loyalty.
Adam, they've announced nothing on Wednesday. It was all a big Thursday announcement. Well, rules are rules.
For 22 years, right, this guy, all he does is he wins, and he wins, and he wins, and he wins, and it's under the subheading of hustle, loyalty, and Wednesdays.
Hey, and if you come to the WhatCulture Live show, slip me an extra $5 and maybe I'll hit you with one of them.
He's trying to, do you know what? You could do don't make fetch happen. He will make it happen. He's like, if he's missed WrestleCulture last Friday, which was 7 days ago.
Of course, yeah.
Wilbourn was trying to workshop his own hand signal to get. So, every ticket to the WhatCulture World Tour is a meet and greet ticket.
Of course.
Every single one. WhatCulture.com/tickets. Obviously, with it being Friday, you've really run it fine to get a Manchester ticket, but Belfast and Glasgow tickets, despite the intimate settings, will still be available. And, God, I can't wait for this. I'm so glad it's today. I am so excited for it.
I wouldn't want to try and go to bed again before another show.
Especially not twice.
No.
I've forgotten what I was talking about.
Meet and greets.
Meet and greets. Every ticket is a meet and greet ticket. We haven't had to do a special one this time. We have got the opportunity basically just to spend as much or as little, time with you want, talking wrestling stuff. We'll do some pictures, anything. It's going to be like a real sort of different vibe than what we've had when people are so nice at the live shows, but often if there's not as much time.
We've got to go around everyone.
Stuff beforehand or whatever it is. Not this time. And it's going to be brilliant. But old Monopoly man Wilbourn over here was like, yeah, but wait a minute, guys. Where's my bunts? And we were like, there is no bunts. It's just about getting to hang out with people. It was like, what if I invent a new hand signal that's my initials and then I can upsell the pictures? So you can...
A $5.
Just a $5.
Because you add the number of your fingers up and it makes 5.
That's why he's charging a $5.
For one of them.
You see, you can...
Your kid does that in the photo without asking on a break his fingers.
Break the kid's fingers and taking small claims court for £5. The legal fees will be into the thousands, but the £5 is a point of principle.
Yeah.
You can book both.
You know what I mean? I'm loyal to my fingers.
Because we really want to see those fingers. But not on your kids, because otherwise they'll take you to small claims court. Why are the claims small? Because they're on small children. Yeah? You can actually legitimately spend money on cameos from us too, but this doesn't feel like a very effective commercial for those.
I'll throw that up on the cameo.
Yeah?
Free.
Because you're paying £5 for it.
Not if you book through Apple, though. You have to book through the Cameo app.
Book through the Cameo app because Apple's website.
No, not through the app, through the website.
You have to book through the website, not through the app. That's what I've always said.
Right, we're talking about SmackDown and people are getting annoyed.
Tonight's
SmackDown. Because it is huge, to be fair.
Yeah.
We've got Punk, Roman, and Seth all under the same roof, seemingly setting themselves up for WrestleMania, right?
I think so. There was a lot of bargaining, copium, whatever you want to call it, about...
Mucho bargaining and copium. We're in Italy, of course.
Oh, thank God. Right, I get it. So you wanted to make this feel more culturally...
See.
We should have done the lights like the Italian flag.
I don't know how to do that.
No, me neither.
Nicholas is here because it's Friday, but he's gone very quiet.
Yes. If you...
And he's lazy because he's not pressing any of the buttons.
Move the cameras around, Nicholas.
Shaking his head.
Quiet Nicholas. He's not even saying anything, is he? Bloody quiet Nicholas. There was mucho copium about both Punk and Roman ultimately having a singles match or being inserted into the world title picture with Cody and Cena. Or just Punk in general being like, well, which triple threat is Punk going to be in? Because there's about 15 to choose from. It was this. It was clearly this, at least on the docket as far back as the Royal Rumble, one assumes. Yeah. It was very nicely built too. at Elimination Chamber, or furthered, I guess, to get you to the cage match, which has now got us to this. So everything does feel like it's pointed towards the triple threat, and I see no reason why it won't play out like that. They could surprise you, I guess. They're not going to do Punk and Seth as a singles match.
God, no.
Again, we've had it 4 3/4 in the cage. They're not getting better than that. They probably won't do Roman and Seth in a singles unless it's abundantly clear what Punk's got lined up instead. And Seth Rollins has said they're both on SmackDown and I'm going to be there too.
Mm-hmm.
So he is even talking about them being on SmackDown in the context of the three of them, not just like, I might go and see what's happening on SmackDown. He's actively saying, I want to get...
It's Roman Reigns. It's CM Punk. And Seth Rollins is here as well.
Yeah, like it's not looking great for him so far. But I think other than Raw's promo, he's done a really good job of forcing his way into this. The physicality's been really good at the Rumble and at Chamber. I believe the hatred. I don't like or buy the Roman Reigns Punk thing. Like, Punk got screwed by Roman, ultimately, in that cage match. And then all Paul Heyman did was like help his mate up. And like Roman, my wise man, and went and battered him. I didn't like that.
I like that.
You did. I wasn't so hot on that.
Where he looked and then like smirked and that turned. It's like, I'm gonna kill you.
And we have to bring it up because it keeps being. We get like a lot of questions about this on the various news and podcasts and the like, and indeed maybe in real life at the tour starting tonight in Manchester about this favour. Now it's a tricky one to pass because. What power does Paul Heyman actually have other than maybe convincing Roman Reigns to do something for him?
Yeah.
But how can that help CM Punk? Like, there was a while, again, we're going back to like sort of people doing bargaining, copium, mucho, of, can maybe Punk's favour is that he gets in the main event. Well, how?
Yeah, how does that work?
I actually need you to fill in the gap for me there. Or maybe Punk's favour is going to be that Roman Reigns is going to do this for him and he's going to, but like, just because Paul Heyman is like friends with Roman, he's not just going to necessarily do his bidding for him so that Punk benefits. It was always going to be tricky. So are they going to talk about that? Are they going to, like, do you think they'll just have Punk mention this favour and say, well, we've got a triple threat, but like, there's 4 of us out here, not 3. And I'll just leave that one with you, Roman. Paul, I haven't forgotten. And when I come to you, I'm going to need you. And just plant the seeds of unrest between Heyman and Roman ahead of WrestleMania to sort of weaken Roman's place in all of this.
Yeah, that's what I'd do. I'd leave the favour not unmentioned, but uncashed in on, basically.
Yeah.
Because, what you...
I don't know. I like, maybe, when are they in... So they're in Italy, aren't they?
Yes.
And then Glasgow.
Italy, Glasgow, London for the SmackDown, obviously,
It's
after
got
that.
to be London. London might be it, actually. Like, how far's... what do we think? I'm going somewhere with this. London to Southampton. What do we think? 3 hours? Maybe?
Maybe
Spent time in
less.
Portsmouth, haven't you?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if, like, you can get from Southampton up to London maybe on Friday night and you could get, like, I don't know, Craig David to be a guest interviewer and be like, hey, Punk, what's your favour? Tell me what's your favour. And then Punk's like, well, as soon as you've sung it, I'm going to have to tell you. I've got an entire week's worth of favours. I took for a soft drink on Monday. No, hang on. I met Paul Heyman on Monday. I took him for a soft drink on Tuesday. We were talking business by Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday. So we chilled on Sunday. And then he's like, oh, that's interesting. I had a song similar to that once. But seriously, what's your favourite? Can you fill me in? Because all they seem to do is be checking up on you.
Yeah.
Maybe. Folks like, we don't know each other that well, Craig. Then he's like, and he said, I might actually go and join the Dadleys, trying to guess Stax' 3 questions, 3 jokes, because they can never get them all right. And, Craig David's all over your boy.
I'm glad we did this on Friday. Yeah, morning.
It's Friday vibes, isn't it? Yeah. It'd be a bit silly if we tried it like very late on a Wednesday.
Yeah. It would go off the rails fast. Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. Do you think is this a sort of week for really starting to bring things together for WrestleMania? We're how many 4 weeks away? Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Got 4 weeks today, our live show at the HyperX.
Oh my God. Yeah. WhatCulture.com/tickets for that as well. It's going to be, funnily enough, we talked about this a lot today. It's going to be a Friday, but it's going to be an actual Friday, not Wednesday afternoon. It's going to be a SmackDown watch along. It's going to be a live stage show. It's going to be a live ups and downs.
We haven't talked a lot about it today. We've talked a lot about it on Wednesday.
Correct. That you could be on as well as a podcast of this sort of quality, depending on how many pints you
Imagine
drink.
alcohol added to this.
Yeah. You can drink, you can eat. It's going to be from 4 o'clock till late. You are not just buying a ticket for a single show. You are buying a ticket for the perfect way to kick off your WrestleMania weekend in Las Vegas, Nevada. We'd love to join you because we will presumably be talking about on our podcast Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. That's going to get booked for WrestleMania. I don't know. Still don't know about this one. I like both guys. I like Kevin Owens full stop. I like Randy Orton in this version of himself.
Yeah.
And I buy the hostilities because Owens has been brilliant as this heel. Randy Orton is like crazy over everywhere he goes. He's riding this wave that felt like it's lasted since 2023 when he came back as this ginormous balloon version of himself. Like, Italy's going to sing his theme just like Barcelona did, just like Berlin did.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be great. But what have they got story-wise to just power that? Are they going to rely so much on these hot crowds that they kind of forget to tell a bit of a compelling story? Like, Owens is so good at being able to like add this texture to his stories and make it feel a bit more real. And he's up there with Punk as like, yeah, like it is your wrestling storyline, but yeah, you're feeling this one, you're clenching your fists and you're running through walls when he talks when it comes to this story. I've thought of something.
Go on.
Doesn't Kevin Owens cut all of his promos from his Lamborghini, and does that not make them in Italy?
Yes. I thought you were going to do something with pineapple on pizza.
Put a pin in that. Put a pineapple in that.
Okay.
Could he, because they're in Italy, be shopping for a brand new Lamborghini and then Orton RKO's the new car?
The RKO's the car, not like...
Or Owens on the car.
Like he did with Hulk Hogan.
Yes. Either are good. But let's just say, so like Owens has got this new Lambo that he's bought and he's showing whoever, SmackDown GM, can't remember his name. And then Orton just appears from out of nowhere and RKO's him on the Lamborghini and it dents the hood.
Yeah.
And he's like...
I'm sick of you talking baloney.
That's good. Stop talking baloney. Craig David's still there. He's actually gone back.
Yeah.
Oh, look at my new Lambo Selector.
Yeah. Get out of here, Kez. Piss myself.
That's... He didn't like that, did he, Craig David? Took real issue with that. And then he RKO's him on the Lambo. Lambo, right, hits him. And then it's the WWE rewind of the week. It's seeing the clip again.
Lovely.
Minutes later.
He's like, that's what you call the rise and fall of Kevin Owens. Sting in it. Did that sting? Did he reference? You remember that one?
I do, yeah. The rise and fall. Yeah. And then he's like, where are you going, Craig? He's like, I'm walking away.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Got that back on track. So yeah, maybe RKO's him on a Lamborghini hood.
Only 43? Craig David.
Is he?
Yeah.
I remember watching an ITV2 thing once where he was in this gorgeous palatial. It was maybe in like LA or something. He basically bought a mansion with his music money and like fair play to him as well. Massive raging Tory, but you know, some people are. And and he's in this big house somewhere abroad and he's writing for whatever. And he's What have you found about Craig David?
Oh, sorry. I'm really sorry to interrupt. Right. I'm just like, I'll find a little snippet to ask Hamflett. So I'm scrolling through there. I'm just scrolling. Read that.
Read out loud.
Yeah, just read the top line.
David revealed on Twitter that he had worked with the record producer Jim Beans on his...
He says we've got 57 varieties of songs for you, Craig. Who the hell's Jim Beans?
I know what I want, and I want it now. I want beans, because I'm Mr. Beans.
What's that? James David Washington, known professionally as Jim Beans.
Jim Beans looking ass.
He was what? He's behind Man Eater. He should have been called Beans Eater. I got so funny, Nelly. It's called Beans Eater. Oh, she's a beans eater.
Love it. Right, what else you got? I'm like a beans. I'll only fry away. Like that. What else you got?
He's also been involved with Britney Spears. He helped with the song. Give me more. He probably said, "Got some more beans."
She's like, quite overtly sexual in that one. He's like, no, not that.
Yeah. Oh, you finished with your breakfast, James. Now give me more beans. Wait a second.
Can you finish that?
Oh, what are we talking about?
How does he raise money for comic relief?
I don't know.
Guessing a bath of beans.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That was it. Yeah, Craig Davis in his big posh house, and it was like, "You all right, Craig?" And he was like, "You think I would be? Look around me, but I just absolutely hate that bus selector thing. I don't piss myself. I haven't got a bird on my hand." It was really like, it's just sort of like none of the stuff can make you happy if you've got a reputation of a guy that wheezes with your gran. You cut pigeons, cut pigeons' feet off.
I feel sick.
I've got to feet off.
So I think Randy Orton will say, "I'm going to invite you, Kevin Owens, to WrestleMania. Oh, my name isn't Jim Bean."
Probably.
Oh, yeah, you know, they always those bloody stupid musicians in the audience. And I'm like, I don't know. Put Jim Bean's on the front row. Sid would bloody love it. Oh, right.
God, I've got.
It's nearly lunchtime on Friday. Oh, I know what I'm having for lunch.
Okay. Oh, I don't like beans. I'm just putting it out there. Nobody get me beans.
Okay.
I'd work with Big Jim Beans, but
I
don't like beans. Never did. Oh. I don't like bean juice. I don't like spaghetti hoops.
Not even, and you don't have, we've discussed this before, the partridge.
Oh, Christ.
The partridge water breaker. The beans.
No, because it gets through. It's not a water, it's a myth. I love partridge. I love that line. I use the sausage as water, breakwater.
Breakwater, that's
but
right,
it's not. Bean juice gets through. Bean juice always gets through.
Yeah.
That's what they say, like in a flood situation.
Like Germany in the group stage of an international football tournament, bean juice always gets through.
Always gets through. Like, I don't like spaghetti hoops. I don't like, I should love this. Like, I wish there was more dinner that came in fully formed in a tin. But there's always beans in it. You know, you get like breakfast in a tin, or sausage and spaghetti in a tin. It's always like bean juice based. If you could get like you see me eating like my big soup,
Yes.
another Heinz product. We've been sponsored by Heinz before, haven't we?
Yeah.
The bold taste of Jim Beans. And we would be again. We'd welcome it.
Yeah.
Like if you could get dinners, like a roast dinner. The roast of WrestleMania in a can. So it was like the liquid was gravy, but you open the can and then you tip it on the plate and it's potatoes, meat, brackets general, carrots, sprouts, broccoli.
Oh God.
Cauliflower. What else goes on a roast? Have I said potatoes? More
Parsnips.
More potatoes. Parsnips, yeah, why not? Treat yourself. But they're just in the can. Big old can. But it's always like something that's bean juice related. Must be something about the way that bean juice keeps things or something. Like, or brine. I don't care for brine. I'm having my tinned hot dogs, of which I'm wont to do, on different kinds of bread. Check out the NXT review for more on bread.
Oh, we did that on Wednesday, didn't we? Yeah.
Bread stuff. I have to drain the brine first. I just don't like the liquid. I certainly don't drink it.
What do you think about Jade Cargill's in-ring return tonight?
Oh, yeah.
And normally they'll, if you're coming back from an injury or a write-off or whatever as Jade is, they might put you in there and have a bit of a match with a jobber or maybe someone who's sort of like, just a safe pair of hands. Pretty bold choice to put her in there with the greatest wrestler of all time, Liv Morgan.
That's correct, yeah. They've gone full beans with this return. She This should be perfect. This should be perfect. Jade Cargill needs a good match because there was a bit of a war.
I'm just reading Jim Beans' thing. All produced by Jim Beans, including So Hot. And that's the problem. Sometimes you leave them on the hob, you're like, Jesus, Beans.
Hot beans.
Right, I'll stop looking at it.
It's all right. Because, of course, like, the more you read about beans, the more you fart, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever need a fart? Or do you just need a poo?
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard anyone say that phrase. I'd never say that phrase.
Certainly you wouldn't know. Definitely not on a Friday.
No,
maybe on a Wednesday.
No, I wouldn't even say it on a Wednesday.
No? Just
No.
never, no. I'll have to sort of, you should watch our content, but you keep missing Stacks on a Wednesday.
I do, it's the problem.
He's a lot more spicy on a Wednesday than he is on a Tuesday.
Old spicy beans.
Do you like, when as a Brit, as a Mr. Beans looking ass,
Yeah.
when people say beans, you do just think of a can of baked beans,
Yeah.
don't you? In America, that's not really the same, is it?
No.
I think they think of it as like stuff you'd put on like a burrito or something. Oh, I like those. What?
Broad beans?
I don't know, what beans are they? Like, you know, you get like just that random bean mash stuff that goes in a burrito or something.
Beans go on a burrito.
Yeah.
Black beans and pinto beans.
Pinto beans, that's it. Pinto beans is what I was thinking of. You get kidney beans over here as well, which are like the colour.
I'm not a fan of those.
Nah, they look weird on a dinner, don't they? Because they're so, like... Whoa! That was like friggin' AJ Styles and Braun Breaker or Kevin Nash catching the cup. You didn't even break eye contact. You don't want to like... That was absolutely unbelievable.
I can hear it going.
Now imagine what I could do to your dick and balls.
Imagine what I'm going to do to your beans.
Jade Cargill and Olivia Omega.
Yes.
For real. For real, I cannot wait to watch this. How's this going to work? Jade Cargill had some Turkerino moments in her first run. Like, I loved her in spite of them, but there was a couple of times where you're like, Jesus Christ, don't drop her again. And then apparently that led to some like actual aggro with like Shayna Baszler and there's all this sort of stuff. But the comeback story's been really, really good so far with Naomi. Really good. WrestleMania good, in my opinion. So, like, they either win or it's Road Dogg SmackDown, so there's going to be a DQ ski and nobody has to lose. Liv Morgan can lose here, but I don't think she will. If she does, she's going to look awesome losing.
Yeah.
She called her an idiot loser and stormed off. She needs to get her ass kicked for that.
Yeah.
They get to do a face-off with Jade and Raquel because they're like a similar size, but Jade can take her out as well because she's stronger. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I don't think there's aside from a DQ, I don't think there's a bad result of this match. Because like you say, I think there's one where, and I don't necessarily mind a DQ if it's Naomi running in and being like, no, I'm going to kick your ass. You ruined everything for me to set up the WrestleMania match. So you could do that. Mm-hmm. Or, Jade beats Liv, and then they're like, well, you've pinned one half of the tag team champions. Get yourself a tag team partner.
Yeah.
And you can have a shot at the tag titles.
Oh, yeah.
And then, obviously, Naomi eventually costs her that. Like, you don't get to win the tag titles again.
She could enlist Bianca for one night.
Yeah.
And then when Naomi costs them by attacking Jade, this then thing becomes like, it costs me. Like, I
could have gone as champ. I could have left WrestleMania as champ. Yeah.
So there's an extra sort of added bit of hostility there. I quite like that. Yeah, into that. I just think that should be really good as well. Like, Liv Morgan will bump her absolute arse off to get Jade Cargill over as well. I got high hopes for this.
An incredible 12 months, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Certainly last 6 months.
I really put it together as like one of the top stars on Raw. We have a bit of a joke about this Livia Omega, Liv Ospreay stuff, but earnestly, just one of my favourite wrestlers of this year.
Yeah.
Just not having stinkers, full stop. Like, so reliable and funny and sharp and just believable. She's like working wonders for Raquel Rodriguez. Like, Michaels Diesel has been thrown around with Raquel Rodriguez's career since she pretty much debuted. This is the first time it's actually accurate, because what happened with Michaels and Diesel was that somebody got to sit under one of the best learning trees in the business and like look cool in the process, while his little arsehole mate like ran his mouth and then like took some beatings for it. You're actually watching it play out and the work's good.
Yeah.
Like, this is the good stuff.
Yeah, I love it. And I'm really excited to see where both these women and sort of all the ulterior personnel involved in it go as we head towards WrestleMania. Speaking of which, actually, tonight we've got Braun Strowman versus Jake Fatu. This is going to be a war, obviously.
Yeah.
There's, a load of different ways they could go with this. I talked to you on the SmackDown review earlier this week about the fact of...
5 days ago.
Yeah. You could do... Jacob wins. I think regardless here, Jacob wins.
Hope so.
Just not kills Braun Strowman. Obviously, Braun gets in some great stuff. They really just... They have the match that we were hoping they were going to have at Saturday night's main event, basically. Mm-hmm. But eventually, Jacob emerges victorious. And then, like... You can either do Jacob then being like, right, well, now that's out of the way. Remember when I wanted a shot of the US title? I'll be having that now. Thank you very much. And either you go down that route and maybe even you just do Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight at WrestleMania.
I think you could.
Yeah.
I don't hate that. Yeah.
There's the alternative of he is about to win or even does win the US title before WrestleMania. If he's about to win it, you could even have Solo cost him, being like, no, you don't get to hold a title when I don't. I'm the leader of this, whatever this new bloodline is now.
Yeah.
To set up the match that I'm hoping to see at WrestleMania, which is Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa. Or another thing is, Jacob Fatu's so busy tonight fighting Braun Strowman, he comes back, he's like, yes, I finally killed him, I finally got rid of him. And Solo's like, congratulations, mate. By the way, whilst you were off doing that, I've earned myself a title shot with... remember I went off fighting LA Knight whilst you were fighting Braun last week? So I'll be having the US title shot. And it's like, Jacob's like, what?
Excuse me? Yeah, next week on SmackDown or something like that, while they're still on this tour and while it's all still hot and you've got these like really engaged audiences to build whatever you want for WrestleMania. I have really come around to the Jacob Fatu LA Knight outcome for all of this year. I think WrestleMania is in desperate need of credible singles matches that have not just the promise of delivering something good on the night, but like the real, like the thing that you care about. And Jacob Fatu winning his first singles title would be that thing, or getting screwed by Solo and having his first loss.
Yeah,
like the stakes would feel high, I think.
Yeah, and they're sort of not the same because it didn't really work out like this. I mean, you might know better than I do about the sort of legacy of this sort of thing, but when it's like when you can see sort of Cena and Batista coming through.
Yeah.
In old days WWE, and you've got like Bron Breakker and Jacob Fatu both leaving WrestleMania with mid-card titles going, few years, there's your WrestleMania main event, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, no, they love that. Like, it doesn't always work out as smoothly as that, but they love the premise of that, and they've certainly teased it when they put the two next to each other and decided. I've said this on other podcasts. Like, I could be wrong. I hope I am wrong. But like, and it's easier to say when the temperature is boiling hot. But the feeling that I've got about the very, very gradual creative decline doesn't really change, but I look at Jacob Fatu and Bron Breakker and think it's longer before we have to call it a day because you've got your two next guys.
Yeah, it's not what happens when you run out of Cody opponents or whatever.
It's going to keep being guys. That's not the problem anymore. It's a different kind of issue. But at very least, if you're progressing with keeping these two hot and keeping these two pushed, your full boom isn't completely going away.
No. You got Oba coming through from NXT as well. Yeah. Look at that women's division.
Yeah, there's always stuff to be excited about. It's just how much the public are going to keep with your chosen new guys. And in Jacob and Bron, and I think like you mentioned the women's division, like Stephanie Vaquer is similar at the moment. You're kind of looking upon who are the audience going to take to next, and those two just feel nailed on.
Yeah,
feel nailed on.
It's like one of those football clubs that keeps winning trophies, and you're like, oh, okay, but in a couple of years that star midfielder of theirs is going to get, age is going to catch up to him, or their star striker is going to want to make big money move to another club. And you're like, oh, bollocks, look at their youth squad that's coming through.
Yeah. That's what can we do? Now, what can we do when they've got them next?
Yeah. But that's the men's US title. Speaking of the women's US title, it is, of course, held by the brilliant Chelsea Green and someone who wants next with her. After, this was on Wednesday, of course, we were talking about this, but still fresh in the memory to me. Yeah. Chelsea Green defending the women's US title on NXT against Sol Ruka on Tuesday night. Yeah. Now, Zelina Vega wants a shot at that, and to get there, she has to beat Piper Niven.
And she will. This can be what Piper Niven and Alba Fire do in this, other than like being absolute banter and being quite funny. Like, they can take losses as well. They can be pin eaters for Chelsea Green, delaying tactics ultimately. I don't think Zelina Vega and Chelsea Green is mania worthy, and I love Chelsea Green, but I don't think they're going to get it there.
No.
But we
You were right, Alexa was the match, wasn't it?
I think so. We've done some glum forecasting of a Chelsea Green title defence on the Go Home SmackDown, which, look, we'll have a great time watching it at the WhatCulture Live show at the HyperX Arena, but there'll always be that sense of, Chelsea Green deserve the main card.
Yeah.
Deserve WrestleMania. It doesn't like it's going to happen for her. And Zelina Vega, with no disrespect intended to Zelina Vega, doesn't yet feel like the opponent that fits that bill either.
No.
Maybe there is
beloved by fans, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a story somewhere perhaps where all of a sudden these two are just mega over. I don't know. I wonder, could Zelina Vega lose on television to Chelsea Green, and then, as he's done elsewhere on the card, Andrade slink into a shot and be like, I think I know what you need. And he kind of forms this new group, and he wants to get them two back together.
Tell you what.
They were both the most over when they were with each other. And he's already in the process of seemingly trying to build a bit of a new empire in the background. Triple H loves his...
Well, that waiting takes on a whole different meaning when you say something like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
His whole, people say, maybe he's frustrated or what. Maybe it's part of a storyline. He's just like, no, I'm just waiting for all the pieces to fall into place.
What was your favourite 80s flick where Tom Selleck, Steve Guttenberg, and the other one find an infant on their doorstep?
3 men and a baby.
Yeah. Triple H preferred the sequel, and he's since built 1 million stables around the principle, 3 men and a little lady.
Yes!
That's kind of his... He watched that film once, and he was like, one of these days, I want to build 16 stables like that.
Andrade's looked and gone, I'll tell you what, who makes good stables who never lose, Zelina Vega. I remember that from the pandemic.
He was in one. He was in it.
He was in it, yeah. Him,
yeah.
Austin Theory.
And of course, you know what else we're going to get on this week's SmackDown?
What?
I mean, tonight. It's like Zelina Vega's reminded me, of course, the real life Mr. Zelina Vega. 3.
Yeah.
Because last week on SmackDown it was 4. So all the numbers mean something. 4.
3.
Aleister Black. Aleister Black. Aleister Black. I don't know.
Hang on, I've got to work this out. So if that's 3, 2, 1.
Mm-hmm. Would the countdown end at the Go Home SmackDown?
3, 2, 1. No.
When would it end? The week before?
before.
Yeah. That's what's so mysterious about him. He loves to keep you guessing.
Is he like your kids sort of counted? 3, 2, 1. Half. Water.
Have you seen the who was it that reported it? I hate when I can't remember who the outlet was. I apologise. You'll know because it's Friday now. You'll have definitely read the tweets by this point. Because obviously he's already got a WWE name, but have you seen the creative shift that they're possibly going to do with him? Because obviously Malachi Black has kind of stuck more, so they're worried about Aleister Black. So I think they're going with Aleister Beans, but it's with the Z.
Beans with a Z.
Yeah. So because it's more mysterious, isn't it?
Beans means business.
All Zs. Just all Zs all the way down.
Business.
Until you fall asleep. Beans means minds.
Good.
Minds games. Mind beans.
God, we really need to get some coffee in us. It's like the end of the day now, the way we're talking.
Which is wild, because we're going to be on stage.
Yeah.
Any minute now.
Actually, we better hurry this up because we're going to get a train to catch. One final thing to ask you, and it's not advertised, but we're going to have some fun with it regardless, because I really like the idea of Gunther beating up a local hero in every city.
Oh, yeah.
Bologna, Italy, of course. I posited a theory on Wednesday's news, this was, that Giovanni Vinci comes back to challenge him. Any chance?
I mean, it's lovely.
It's a hell of a work.
It would be a little bit, you remember Drew McIntyre and Heath Slater in the pandemic?
Yeah.
It would be a bit awkward.
And I don't like it because I don't want them to be like, we worked you with our releases.
Why are we doing this?
Sorry?
I know a guy.
Don't even put that out there. First of all, he just got taken out a couple of days ago.
That's true. He is injured. Convalescing in Florida, I suppose. I mean, but he's got a whole family.
If that happens, I'll lose my gosh darn mind.
I also know somebody that recently returned on an NXT to WWE that got a monster pop when his music hit. That's correct.
A Cobra.
That's right.
I Googled, by the way, in anticipation of this, I Googled Italian WWE wrestlers. And I just got an entire page of American professional wrestlers of Italian descent or just full-blooded Italians members.
The FBI, yeah. Nunzio.
Yes.
Beating off Gunther. Salvatore Bellomo. He's possibly dead.
17 names on this one.
Let's do it. Run through them.
Yes, sadly passed away in 2019.
I thought he passed away.
Yeah, Kid Cash is on there.
Yeah. Gravy could have been foreshadowing when he mentioned Tom Brandy. He worked as Salvatore Sincere.
Yes. All right.
What?
I just read Trinity. I was like, Naomi was a part of...
Different Trinity, yeah.
Oh, the late, great Tracy Smothers.
Yeah, he was awesome in the FBI.
I just didn't remember the quote from Tracy Smothers from like one of those like ECW like throwback show. I think it was the TNA one that Brian and Vinny were talking about. They did like a dance off and he said, "If I can't beat that, everybody dies."
There's a great story of Tracy Smothers was not in any way high up the totem pole in WWE when he worked there as basically a jobber to the stars in 1996. As Freddie Joe Floyd, which was even the name was a rib on the Briscoe brothers because that's their real names.
Yeah,
it was Freddie Joe Floyd, and he's backstage in the locker room, and so you imagine all the wrestlers doing whatever, and Goldust's on the screen, and the Dead Man, the Undertaker's kind of like just being really dismissive of whatever Goldust stuff's doing at the time, and Goldust trying to get over with this gimmick. And just Freddie Joe, like, does not care for the supposed luxury room friend. How long you been dead, Mark?
Johnny the Bull.
Stamboli.
Yeah. Do you know his real name?
I would have just thought of it. See, Johnny Stamboli. Go on.
Jonathan Hugger.
Ooh, there ain't no stopping us now. We celebrate on the floor.
What chance of that then?
Yeah.
Bailey, isn't it? Also,
can I just shock you? I actually like Egyptian themed things.
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm warm to them. I will say that.
Yeah.
He was, of course, Relic in TNA, which, if you're unaware, actually, if you write it down and then like flip the piece of paper around, it's killer. They kind of danced around that point in TNA, didn't they? They didn't like to mention it.
No, they didn't want it to come up. But if you look really closely, you'd be able to spot that clues.
Yeah. Who was the one I was thinking of? I was trying to think of Italian wrestlers that they could bring in. But yeah,
do you know what's one better than TNA?
What's that?
TNB, Total Non-Stop Beans. It's one better.
Bubba Ray Dudley?
No.
He's Italian?
Oh, no, no, thank you.
Okay. Bo Dallas?
Well, I mean...
He's like, I'll fight anyone Italian. Uncle Adam's like, what the...
Gunther just destroys him. That's why it's absolutely finished. Well, what else you got?
Because I'm looking in the D's, okay? I'm looking at D's names, okay?
These names?
Disco Inferno's on there.
No, thank you.
But Dijak is
of
Italian descent.
Take those stupid sunglasses off. We're inside.
That would be. He is Croatian, Hungarian, and Italian ancestry.
I'll go with Santino.
Yeah, it just makes the most. Like
Santino Marella, big pop.
It's a real easy one, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of like, hey, people have said anyone can win a shock title out of nowhere against a guy bigger than them. Yeah.
What's that? Like a bit of alliteration. I was the Milan Miracle. Now I'm going to be the Bologna Beans guy.
But you have Gunther be like, you're a one-note joke, just like Jey Uso.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably work better than him, considering what happened on Monday. But I do like the idea that
Gunther just takes the Cobra off and puts it on his own and chops him with it.
Yeah, I also like the idea that Gunther is just so pissed off that he got embarrassed on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he put his hands on my title, so I'm gonna. You don't even know he's booked for this show, but it's a funny gimmick, and I'd keep it. Not funny, but it's an effective gimmick.
Yeah.
Because he's not. It's the tag match is 8-10 down under, so You've got the nice sort of bounce between the two
Aye,
shows, haven't you?
yeah, that's true. And just Gunther as well, like it's last week, his match against Axiom was such a gift.
Oh, it was wonderful.
Like, it really helps this 3-hour show to just suddenly get a Gunther match. Like, it almost like fills a gap that, like, we didn't think anything possibly could on these 3-hour editions. I welcome it.
Well, let us know your thoughts ahead of SmackDown tonight, of course, in the comment section below, or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch, they can follow both of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE, and make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. But for now, this has been the SmackDown preview where we talked about Gunther destroying another local hero, Zelina Vega potentially earning a US title shot, Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu, Jade Cargill's in-ring return, and our Punk, Reigns and Rollins set for WrestleMania.
The SmackDown Beans view. It's got all this and the star of the tour.
We'll see you in Manchester. Bye.